Hey everyone, I'm Zain Baig, this is Auto Group, and this is our own Lexus ES350. It's a 2016 model. It has a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. It makes 268 horsepower, and right around there torque is like, I think 240 or 250. So we've had this car for almost a year, and one of our subscribers, I think his name is Ben Isla, he really wanted to see a review for this car, and we did do a track drive last year, so if you guys want to see how it drives on the track, that's the video to watch. So here is the Caviar on the outside and Flaxen on the inside. ES with these darkish wheels, half dark, half light with the silver. Pretty cool effect on them. Then inside, boom, here we have the Flaxen interior with the birchwood, it's called, and it's also on the steering wheel and stuff. So that's really cool. This is like the premium one package, I believe. So it has the premium leather seating and heated steering wheel and a couple other features like that. This is not the navigation package, so it has the scroll wheel just like a BMW's iDrive, or Mercedes also does that scroll wheel, or they did at least, but now they are slowing that down. So in the back, so that this seat is set to my position and I'm about 6'3". If we sit in the back, I can sit like pretty comfortably, way more comfortably than our last car. The last car was the 2009 Lexus ES350, which was not this comfortable. It would be like the seat would be probably right about here almost. So that's pretty crazy. And then we do have an armrest, of course, here with two cup holders. Take this water bottle, boom, put it right there. And we got some little pockets over here. We got air vents over here. So yeah, obviously it's pretty basic, but this is what you would expect from an entry-level Lexus. And the other cool thing about this car is that used, it's a really good value. It's just about $25,000 used, and you can find them pretty easily with about 50,000 miles, or even less for that price point. 2016, 2017, and then even the 18, and then 19 and 20 are the new ESs. So those are a bit different in terms of value. Then you got piano black over here, just the piano black. You got some chrome, birchwood, this soft touch at the top, this is soft touch. This is just plastic, which in the old ES, our old ES, also check out that video, it's very old. The 2009 one had this soft touch, and the cool thing about that one was that even the grab handles were with like leather stitching and stuff. These ones are not, unfortunately. But let's move on to the front seat. Let me show you a couple of the features of the car. So before we move on to the interior, let me also show you the front grille and stuff. Super obviously controversial spindle grille and stuff, but I really like it. I think it looks great, and it really just grew on me as soon as we checked out this car and stuff. And really the way it drives is probably like the best aspect, and the room inside, it's very spacious inside. So, and it has keyless entry with the little boop, and it locks it, so that's nice. Then for the inside of the car, this is the thing I was talking about, man. It has a lot of space. You got your armrest. You can just load the armrest up. It goes really deep, and you could also even move this little tray. You take that out, and you got tissues upon tissues, and a perfume, and the phone charger. As you can see, this car is very daily driven since we got it in last May or whatever. A couple features that you do have is park assist over here, so it goes beep, 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 as soon as you're about to hit something. Blind spot monitor for the view mirrors, to see if a car's in your blind spot. Boom, you got a little coin hole. So what's really nice about this car is that it has 3-stage memory settings, whereas the older one had 2-stage, which is good. But the older one did have 2-stage for the passenger seat as well, which was incredible. But this car does not, so I have to like just keep this like this, and if somebody moves it, then I get really mad. Okay, so for your climate controls, you can access all of them over here, like your speed and the position and everything. It's pretty easily laid out, but what's cool about this system is that you can also use it through the infotainment system. So you can just scroll over and go to your speed and stuff, just like if you were to do it with the buttons. But the only annoying thing about it is that you have to go to this dot thing, the little ellipses, and then select AC on and off. There's no AC button over here in this climate control stack, which is kind of bogus, but whatever. Another thing, obviously it has Bluetooth, connectivity and stuff, and you go into setup and change things. You can even change the theme of the background, which is pretty interesting. You can go from blue to brown, and then everything in the background becomes brown, like that. So these are just like little features. Obviously this is not nearly as advanced as some of the competitors, especially now for the 20 model years, but it's something that I really like, and it's kind of a good way to use it with the scroll wheel. I like it more than the joystick, although that's not bad either. So basically the thing about the sport mode in this car and the normal mode and eco is it really just changes up the shift points for the transmission and which gear it's in, and the steering weight, and a little bit of the sharpness of the pedal, but that's about it. It doesn't really control, it controls none of the suspension related things at all, or the brake, or the sound, because this car has no induction sound. So anyways, you got your glove compartment, which is obviously loaded with stuff in here. That's that. So normally this little panel is like this, but then when you open it, it becomes another cup holder right there, and then you can just close that. This one is right over here. That's the second cup holder, which is good. You can close that as well. That's really nice. You also have your traction control button right over here. So if you press that in your gauge cluster, it shows traction control is turned off, and then you can just press these little buttons. So before we get onto the driving, let me also talk about these, because these are pretty important. So you could scroll through a bunch of different things in the menu: your audio, your cruise control, your messages and clock and stuff, vehicle settings, meter settings. So these are like pretty basic settings. You don't really need to use these too much, but what I do like is the main information screen. It has your elapsed time after start, and then hold on, we got to take that out, and then boom, you got your eco indicator. So this thing fills up when you're doing like I think about 40 to 60 miles per hour on the highway, so you're basically hypermiling. And then you got your tire pressure, and under that is just a blank screen, and boom, it just starts back from the top. So that's pretty much it for that. And then let's also check out the trunk space real quick. So for the trunk space of the car, we got a pretty big size trunk. I'll have the little actual numbers for you hopefully in the video. And then we got our first aid kit on the side. There are a couple other things that this car does come with, like, you know, a spider net or a grocery little net at the front, but you know, we already got our own, you best believe, Auto Group's own bungee cord apparatus. So that's basically the space in there. And the cool thing is that you got LED taillights, as well as LED headlights, of course. So that's nice. It's a pretty obviously clean finish of the car. Then you got these, which was a change for the 2016 model year. They went to these more parallelogram type of exhausts rather than the circular one. So then coming on to the side profile is something that I like a lot about this car, and that I think a lot of people like, especially with like the wheels, and it really depends on your spec. I've also seen this car in red, and it looks really good too. So that's nice. I guess, you know what? Let's just go ahead and go on to the driving portion now. Okay, so now we are driving the 2016 Lexus ES350. And the thing that I love about this car is that it all of a sudden feels super natural to anybody who's driven any other Lexus ES from the past. And I really like the instant throttle response sensitivity that it has with the sport mode. It's pretty good for a car of this category, especially since it's not a performance car from Lexus or anything. So for that, it's good. As soon as you put it in any other mode, it becomes pretty numb on the pedal. And the transmission is a 6-speed automatic. So the thing about it is that most times it's perfect for when you're using it. Sometimes when you need a kick down, it takes a little while. So that is something that we have studied on this car for ages since we've had it, and tried to figure out like what's up with the transmission setup. So normally it is very, very smooth though, very soft and shifting and stuff, which is something that I like. Other than that, I remember when we used to get these cars for a loaner, as a loaner, a long time ago, it would be so quiet that I would have to roll the windows down because it was just really, really quiet. And it's still super quiet. It is a big step up from the 2009 one for sure. That is something that people will hopefully really enjoy about this car. Also, another thing that, if you're wondering obviously about the sound system, the sound system is very good for being just a base sound system. It's not Mark Levinson, it's not anything like that. And the cool thing I like about this car is that it has very good body control as well. So when you're driving it and you let off the gas and you hit the brakes and you pick up on the gas again, when you're just like slowing and going fast again, there's not really any pitch and dive that you feel, which is good. And this is obviously a front wheel drive car because the Lexus ES has always been front wheel drive. and it still is. The pickup is awesome, and when the transmission is perfectly responsive, it really gets up and goes fast, which is really good. And there's absolutely no lack of power at all. What I do like, especially about the new one, is that now they have the 8-speed automatic, so that is a big improvement. But regardless of that, it's such a nice car to drive. Now let's pop it into Eco. Eco, I love how the thing turns blue. That's really nice. And the throttle response becomes all delayed and really, really soft. And this is where it really feels like a good luxury car in Eco. And the steering wheel gets all light. It's awesome in that mode, for sure. And another cool thing about the car is that when you're connecting the phones and stuff, I really like the feature that you could put 2 different phones on at the same time. So one phone can be the audio player for playing music and stuff. The other one can be your phone for receiving calls. That stuff is really nice. But everything is geared towards comfort over sportiness, and regardless of that, these gas pressurized front shock absorbers do get pretty they can feel stiff at times over really rough pavement. When we got this car, the 2009 one felt a little softer, I remember, and it took me some time to get used to this one suspension tuning. So overall, the time with the 2016 Lexus ES350 has been, obviously, for me, I've been living with it for a long time. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this car on the channel, because I have had a few requests to check this car out since it is our own Auto Group mobile. So it is a very good used value, especially in like $20,000-$25,000 is very, very cheap for this car. Considering normally they are like $40,000-$45,000 this type of spec. So that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Auto Group. Make sure to like and subscribe for weekly videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one.